It was a Tuesday when everything started to unravel. I'm Alaric, 44, an IT specialist living in Seattle. My life with Braun had always seemed like a carefully curated dream. We had been married for 15 years, a seemingly perfect couple navigating the waters of career and life together. Braunt was a marketing executive, driven and ambitious, always climbing the corporate ladder. I admired her for it, supported her every step of the way, or so I thought. It started subtly. Braunt began working longer hours, claiming new projects and demanding deadlines. Dinners together became less frequent, replaced by hurried phone calls and late-night emails. I chalked it up to the pressures of her job, never suspecting anything more. I was a fool. Then came the conference in Miami. Braunt told me about it weeks in advance, explaining how crucial it was for her career. A marketing summit, she called it, a chance to network and learn from industry leaders. I helped her pack, ironed her dresses, and drove her to the airport with a kiss and a promise to miss her terribly. I even bought her favorite perfume, telling her to wear it and think of me. "I'll call you every night," she promised, squeezing my hand. "And I'll bring you back a souvenir." That was the last genuine moment I remember sharing with her. The first few days were normal. Braunt called me each evening, describing the conference sessions and the people she met. Her voice sounded tired but enthusiastic, and I felt a sense of pride in her accomplishments. I even started to miss her less, reassured by her constant communication. Then on the fourth day, the calls stopped. I texted her, asking if everything was okay. No response. I called her, but it went straight to voicemail. I started to feel a knot of anxiety tighten in my stomach. Maybe she was just busy, I told myself. Maybe she had a packed schedule and couldn't get away to talk. But deep down, a seed of doubt had been planted. That night, I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned, my mind racing with worst-case scenarios. Had something happened to her? Was she sick? Had she been in an accident? Finally, around 3 a.m., I gave up trying to sleep and got out of bed. I wandered into the living room, aimlessly flipping through channels on the TV. Nothing could hold my attention. I felt restless, uneasy, like something was terribly wrong. Then, on a whim, I opened my laptop and logged onto social media. I rarely used it, but I remembered Braunt mentioning that some of her colleagues were posting updates from the conference. Maybe I could find a picture of her, just to reassure myself that she was okay. I scrolled through the feeds, searching for familiar faces. And then I saw it. A picture posted by a mutual friend, a woman named Isolde who worked in the same industry as Braunt. The picture showed a group of people at a restaurant laughing and talking, and there in the center of the frame was Braunt. But she wasn't with her colleagues, she was with Kendrick, her boss. They were sitting close together, their arms touching. Braunt was laughing, her eyes sparkling, and Kendrick was looking at her with an expression I had never seen before, an expression of pure adoration. My heart stopped. My breath caught in my throat. I stared at the picture, unable to comprehend what I was seeing. It couldn't be true, I told myself. It had to be a mistake. There had to be a logical explanation, but deep down I knew. I clicked on the picture, zooming in on Braunt's face, and then I noticed something else. Something that sent a shard of ice through my veins. She was wearing a necklace, a delicate silver chain with a heart-shaped pendant. It was a necklace I had never seen before. I remembered Braunt telling me that Kendrick had given her a thank-you gift for all her hard work. I had assumed it was something generic, like a gift card or a bottle of wine. But now, seeing that necklace, I knew it was something more, something personal, something intimate. I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. My hands started to shake. I closed my laptop, my mind reeling. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was drowning. I spent the rest of the night pacing the floor, trying to make sense of what I had seen. I replayed every moment of the past few weeks, searching for clues, for signs that I had missed. The late nights, the hurried phone calls, the lack of intimacy. It all started to make sense. Braunt was having an affair with Kendrick. The next morning, I woke up feeling numb. The world seemed gray and distorted, like I was looking at it through a dirty window. I went through the motions of getting ready for work, but my mind was a million miles away. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't focus. All I could think about was Braunt and Kendrick laughing and flirting, their hands touching. I knew I had to confront her. I couldn't live with the uncertainty, the doubt, the pain. I needed to know the truth. I called her again, my voice trembling. This time she answered. Alaric, she said, her voice sounding surprised. What's wrong? I saw the picture, Bront, I said, my voice barely a whisper. The picture with you and Kendrick. There was a long silence. I could hear her breathing on the other end of the line. What picture? She finally said, her voice sounding strained. Don't play dumb, Bront, I said, my voice rising. The picture Isolde posted, the one where you're wearing the necklace Kendrick gave you. Another silence. This time I could hear her sigh. Alaric, I can explain, she said, her voice sounding pleading. Explain what, Bront? I said, my voice filled with anger. Explain how you're having an affair with your boss. Explain how you lied to me. Explain how you betrayed me. It's not like that, Alaric, she said, her voice cracking. It's complicated, I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. How is it complicated, Bront? You're married to me. You're supposed to be loyal to me. How is that complicated? I don't know, she said, her voice sounding lost. I've been feeling so unhappy lately. I feel like we've grown apart. I feel like we're not the same people we used to be. So instead of talking to me, instead of trying to fix things, you decided to cheat on me, I said, my voice filled with disbelief. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said, her voice trembling. It happened. That's bullshit, Bront, I said, my voice shaking with rage. You made a choice. You chose to betray me. You chose to lie to me. You chose to sleep with another man. Please, Alaric, don't be like this, she said, her voice filled with tears. I still love you. I don't want to lose you. Too late, Bront, I said, my voice cold. You already lost me. I hung up the phone, my hands shaking. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. The pain was unbearable, the betrayal cut deep. I spent the rest of the day in a daze, unable to think, unable to feel. I called my best friend, Thaddeus, and told him everything. He was shocked and supportive, offering to come over and keep me company. I declined, telling him I needed to be alone. That night I sat in the dark, staring at the ceiling, tears streaming down my face. I couldn't believe that my life had come to this, that the woman I loved, the woman I had built a life with, had betrayed me in the worst possible way. The next few days were a blur. Bront returned from Miami, her face pale and drawn. She tried to talk to me, to explain, to apologize, but I couldn't bear to look at her. Every time I saw her face, I was reminded of her lies, her betrayal, her infidelity. I told her I wanted a divorce. She begged me to reconsider, promising to end the affair, to go to therapy, to do whatever it took to save our marriage. But I was done. The trust was broken, the love was gone. There was no going back. I moved out of our house and into a small apartment downtown. I started seeing a therapist, trying to process my emotions, to heal my wounds. It was a long and painful process, but I knew I had to do it. I had to move on. Meanwhile, Bront's life started to unravel. Her affair with Kendrick became public, causing a scandal at her company. She was forced to resign, her reputation ruined. Kendrick's wife filed for divorce, taking him for everything he had. Bront tried to contact me, begging me to take her back. She was alone, broke, and miserable, but I refused. I had no sympathy for her. She had made her choices, and now she had to live with the consequences. I focused on rebuilding my life, on finding happiness again. I threw myself into my work, I reconnected with old friends, and I started exploring new hobbies. I even started dating again, cautiously, tentatively. It wasn't easy. The pain of Bront's betrayal still lingered, a dull ache in my heart. But I refused to let it define me. I refused to let it destroy me. I was determined to move on, to find love again, to build a new life for myself. And then one day I got a call from an unknown number. I hesitated before answering, unsure who it could be. "Hello," I said, my voice cautious. "Alaric, it's Isolde," the voice on the other end said. "I need to talk to you." Isolde, Bront's colleague, the woman who had posted the picture that had exposed the affair. "What do you want?" I said, my voice cold. "I know you probably hate me," she said, her voice trembling. "But I have something to tell you, something you need to know." "What is it?" said, my curiosity piqued. "It's about Bront and Kendrick," she said, her voice low. "Their affair. It wasn't just a fling, it was planned, I said, my voice filled with disbelief. "What do you mean planned?" "They were working together," she said. "They were trying to sabotage your company, sabotage my company," I said, my head spinning. "Why? Kendrick wanted to take over your company," she said. "He saw you as a threat. He knew that if he could ruin your reputation, he could buy your company for cheap. And Bront was in on it," I said, my voice filled with disgust. She was the one who gave Kendrick the inside information he needed, she said. She knew all your company's secrets, all your weaknesses. She used that information to help Kendrick destroy you. I was speechless. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Bront hadn't just betrayed me emotionally, she had betrayed me professionally. She had tried to ruin my career, to destroy my livelihood. Why are you telling me this? I said, my voice shaking with anger. I feel guilty, she said. I knew what they were doing, but I didn't say anything. I was afraid of losing my job, but I can't live with the guilt anymore. You deserve to know the truth. I thanked her for her honesty and hung up the phone. I sat there for a long time trying to process what I had just learned. I felt a surge of anger, a burning desire for revenge. Bront and Kendrick had tried to destroy me. Now it was my turn to destroy them. I spent the next few weeks gathering evidence, documenting everything I knew about their scheme. I contacted a lawyer and filed a lawsuit against them, accusing them of conspiracy, fraud, and defamation. The lawsuit made headlines, exposing Bront and Kendrick's dirty secrets to the world. Their reputations were ruined, their careers were over. They were ostracized by their friends and colleagues. I won the lawsuit, receiving a substantial settlement. I used the money to rebuild my company, to make it stronger and more successful than ever before. Bront and Kendrick were left with nothing. They had lost their jobs, their reputations, their money, and their dignity. They were forced to live in shame and regret. I had my revenge, and it was sweet. But the best part of it all was that I was free. Free from Bront's lies, free from her betrayal, free from her toxicity. I was finally able to move on with my life, to find happiness again. I started dating a woman named Rowena, a kind and compassionate artist who saw me for who I was. We fell in love, and a year later we got married. I had finally found my happy ending, and it was all thanks to Bront's betrayal. Sometimes the worst things that happen to us can lead to the best things. Sometimes betrayal can be a blessing in disguise. I learned that the hard way, but I wouldn't trade my experience for anything. It made me stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And it taught me a valuable lesson. Never trust a woman who wears a necklace her boss gave her, especially when she claims she's at a conference. Life has a funny way of working out. What seems like the end can often be a new beginning. My story is a testament to that. I went through hell, but I came out stronger on the other side. Bront's betrayal was a turning point, a catalyst for change that ultimately led me to a happier, more fulfilling life. I found love again, built a successful business, and learned to trust my instincts. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. The scars may still be there, but they serve as a reminder of what I've overcome and how far I've come. And to any man who finds himself in a similar situation, know this: you are not alone, and you will get through it. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, and never give up on the possibility of finding happiness again. The final chapter of this story is a testament to resilience and the unexpected turns life can take. Years after the divorce and the lawsuit, I received a letter. It was from Bront. She was living in a small town, working as a waitress. She wrote about her regrets, her mistakes, and the pain she had caused. She didn't ask for forgiveness, but she hoped that one day I could find it in my heart to understand. I read the letter with a mix of emotions, pity, anger, and a strange sense of closure. I realized that holding on to hatred would only continue to hurt me, so I made a conscious decision to let go. I forgave her, not for her sake, but for mine. It was the final step in my healing process, the last piece of the puzzle that allowed me to move on completely. And as I looked at Rowena, my loving wife, I knew that I had made the right choice. My life was full, rich, and filled with love. Bront's betrayal had once seemed like the end of the world, but it had ultimately led me to a better place. A place where I was surrounded by genuine love, true friendship, and unwavering support. My journey from betrayal to triumph is a story of resilience and redemption. It's a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable pain, it's possible to rebuild, to heal, and to find happiness again. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, and never give up on the possibility of a brighter future.